So Airfix sent to me their latest release of the Supermarine Spitfire Mk1 in 1/48 scale. And I've built a lot of Spitfires. And I've built this, I think it was in like 2020 when I first got hold of a 1/48 Spitfire and built it. It goes together really well. And this new release comes with 3 schemes, and one of them is French. And I thought we'll just have a look through the box, and especially at the scheme, because when I first glanced at it, I thought it was a little bit special. Now, the kit itself is 11 years old because it was released back in 2014 as the Spitfire Mark 5B, which came with 2 schemes. One was the number 249 Squadron, and then they brought out the Polish Squadron number 317, which is at the Imperial War Museum in Duxford. And in that same year, they did release it as a dogfight double. So you had the 1/48 Supermarine Spitfire Mark 5B in a box with the Messerschmitt Bf 109E. And then it was in 2015 when they released it as this Supermarine Spitfire Mark 1. And there it came with 3 schemes. They had the Operational Training Unit from World War II. They had a number 19 Squadron with the dark green, dark earth, white and black sort of scheme. And then they had the number 602 City of Glasgow Squadron, which was the pilot officer Osgood Villas Hanba, and that was dark green, dark earth and sky. And they really got their money's worth out of this tooling, because in 2015, that same year, they released it as a club kit as the specialised or specialist Spitfires. One was an air sea rescue and the other one was a night fighter. And then we had this 5-year break, and then in 2020 they released it again as the Supermarine Spitfire Mark 5B, and then boxed it again that same year with fresh decals as a Spitfire Mark 1A. And then this year, 2025, they've announced this release in 1/48, a Mark 1. And the top scheme for this release, they've used number 19 Squadron with the squadron leader Henry Cousins markings for this release. And yes, Edard have released a Spitfire with this same scheme as well. I think back in 2021, I think it was. But this is Airfix, so leave them alone. And so let's have a look at the box itself. Here it is. K9794. And we have a look at that because they've got K9795 there. But on the front you've got K9794, K9797. So yeah, it's all Squadron 19 anyway. So yeah, 3 schemes on this, sorry. You've got number 19, you've got the Middle East Training School from 1942, Egypt. And you also have the, I can't say it's in French, Armée de l'Air, France, captured by Axis forces in 1940. And that's the one I think looks pretty nice. That's the one I'm going to have a look at in here. 2 flying hours because it's a series 5 kit, so you get 2 flying hours with this one. Skill level 2, but it's a pretty straightforward build, and there's some bump there about it. 192mm in length, width 232mm, and it comes with 149 pieces in this particular kit. So there's the box art again. Then on the edge you've got the warnings in different lingo, and it will tell you here that the model design and tooling was 2015 and the decal schemes and pack design was 2025, made in India. So, and there's the, I'll just zoom in there a bit so you can see the edge of the box, which is cool. And there you go, that's basically everything on this box. So again, we'll get a knife, we'll just pluck ourselves inside and have a quick look. Obviously, you know, everyone knows what you're going to get in an Airfix kit. You get basically a bag full of sprues, your instructions and call out sheet and decals. There's your instructions there, but we'll have a look at that in a minute. So let's get close with the decals, because the decals are the important part for me. I want to have a really good look at the decals here. Okay, so it's saying K9794 on the decals. Yeah, okay, and as I said, on the box art, on the information on the side of the box, it's saying 9795. So there you go. So that's a little bit wrong, but who cares? There you go. So all your common ones at the top there were your roundels, nice printed in register. But it's these that I like. There's something about the French. I love the stripes on the tail. That's what I really like. So I'm more interested in doing this one. And they look punchy, don't they? There's your scheme B, which is your Egyptian scheme, and there's number 19 squadron. I know the majority, and I understand the majority of you will probably choose that, but if you want to do something a little bit different for once, do the French one instead. But that's what I wanted to look at, and yeah, it's tidy, very, very nice. I like that. Good scheme. Very good choices there, Airfix. Some really good choices. Right, instructions here. As I said, it's quite in depth, pretty cool, and obviously with all these kits, we don't go too deep in them, but you can see what you can do with the kit itself. There's lots of internal detail that you can paint and add and wash, you know, and like with most Airfix kits now, you're building up a subsection for the cockpit area. So there's the seat, bulkhead, headrest, your foot, your column, and another bulkhead there, you know, decals for the instrument panel, you know, and you're building it all up and making it into like one complete section. Seat goes in, pilot with posable arms, which is good. Bang it together and you're fine. Remember, this kit, you know, even though it was released as a Mark 5B, they added new parts for the Mark 1 and the Mark 1A. So, you know, you'll see in a minute when you go through the sprues, there will be a jump in letters. So, and you'll see this in the instructions as well. So, depending on which canopy, if you want it open or closed, you need to cut out some pieces here and file it and make it look neat. And you know, if you want it, you got closed and open, you have to cut that section off there. So you've got yourself a door, you know, or a way in. Extra piece there for the nose, and you've got a choice here. If you're doing option B and C, you're doing that, which is the Mark 1A. If you're doing number A, which is your Mark 1, you'll do this one. Again, open, they give you the option for open gun bays here. So if you want to do that, follow the instructions for step 26 to 38. Option 2, to leave the gun bays covered, do not cut out the access panels and miss out steps 26 to 38. So you get choices. Remember, you got two ways of building this kit. Okay, you can part wheels up, wheels down, obviously. You could do the Mark 1 or the Mark 1A. Gearing bays, etc., undercarriage. If you've got them lowered, you need to add this section here. Okay, so these parts need to be added. Your strut goes across. Spray up these areas with 78. You know, it's all bog standard really. And this is the section where if you're going to put the armaments in, this is where you work through here, and then you've got the choice. Then if you're doing that, if you're not doing that, you just need to glue these down, and if you are, that's what it looks like if you're having the gun bays open. Okay, fuselage then fits on top of the wing. Make sure it's 90 degrees, so make sure it's quite straight for the rear tail there. Again, you add in the rudder on the back, your flaps in, and then underneath your nacelle underneath there, and add in I think that's an intake radiator and radiator there as well. So you've got radiator to go in, even you can do either the flaps closed or extended. And then you got some your rear wheel goes on the back there. There are, so if you want them up, you're using these parts here. They should go in flat, so half the wheel there. Okay, 90 degrees, 93 degrees. So, yeah. So there's your choice there of wheels up or wheels down. Then you've got your exhausts. And 55 and 56. If you're doing A, you want the 2-blade prop. If you're doing A, and 3-blade if you're doing B and C. Do not glue there because then it could spin. Then you've got the canopies. So now if you're doing A, they're saying use like the bog standard flat one. And if you're doing B and C, you want to use the bubble one. But if you're doing Cousins' version, which is the 4 at the end, he had a bubble. He's the first one to have the bubble canopy, and a few months after they all had this canopy. So I'm unsure about that, but you've got the choice there. You can either have it with canopy open or canopy closed. There's your choices. But I think if you're doing 9794, which is Cousins, you want that one. Just put it out there. Leave me in the comments if I'm right or wrong about that canopy. Okay. And then more parts to the wings now. Obviously, you've got the doors or the gun bays open. There's the panels there for that. Putting on your mast and a little piece of glass in the back, and then you're finished. Coolio. Turn them over, and then you have the Callouts, which is the Mk1. Again, it's saying 9794, which is correct on the decal sheet. Online and on the box, it will say 9795. So, you know, up to you what you want to do. It says here, the colour of 19 markings on the fin is open to question. In photographs, they appear white, but they could also be yellow. We have provided you both for the modeler to make their own choices. So there's your first call out. Call out B, which is the Egypt one. Again, photographs of HK856 appear to indicate that the undercarriage was painted a darker colour, probably azure blue, whilst the hubs were paler, most likely aluminium, and a minimal stenciling was carried. Okay, so there's that one. Turn this one over, and you have C, which is the French version, and again, it believed to be coded FWB. This Spitfire was photographed in a semi-completed state around the time of its capture by Axis forces in July 1940. The aircraft carried the early radio mast, and the colours were believed to be dark earth, dark green, and aluminium painted underside, as per some early RAF Spitfires. So there you go. There's your call-outs, and there's your instructions. So well done, Airfix, on that. Appreciate that. Thank you. Right, let's move on to the sprues. Okay, so you're getting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sprues. So you've got quite a big chunk of plastic here. And that's sprue H. Let's start with sprue A, shall we? So sprue A, let's get in close for this and then get it so that it's all nice and focused. And again, nice for it's a 10-year-old kit, 11-year-old kit. It has had a few releases, but so far I think the actual plastic looks pretty good, to be honest. Look on the other side, you can see that. Some little minimal detail. So all recessed panel lines here. No rivets apart from the front there, and they're raised. They're raised at the front, which is a nice touch. I was listening to Pramjit saying that on the Jaguar, when the big rivets, they're raised, and if they're small rivets, they're recessed. And I thought that was a nice touch. So yeah, so raised rivets there on the front. Well, I suppose there'll be some sort of bolt or something as well, but yeah, there you go. So nice decal, nice crisp recessed panel lines on sprue A. Sprue B, again, some nice detail there on the inside of the fuselage there. So you've got nice crisp detail there. Let me just focus it in a little bit. There you go. You can see plenty of scope there to add a bit of weathering, you know, add some paint inside to make it look a bit fresh. There is the panel. There. Part of the nose there, I think, for the front, where the canopy sits on there. So there you go. The rudders. Your rudders there. Very nice. It's a little detail on the side and the other side. Not a lot to see there. So there you go. So there's sprue B. Okay, sprue C now. We're looking through, and these are all your little parts. There's your pilot there. Not looking too bad, to be honest, with, you know, positionable arms, which is what you want. Yeah, it's not a bad looking pilot. There's your prop there. Just going through, you can see, you know, choice of exhaust there, obviously. Your intake. Undercarriage door legs there. Here you are. That prop does look a bit special though, doesn't it? Let's be careful of that part there. That looks like it's going to be a bit of a tricky one there if you're not going to be careful. Be careful of that part there. Yeah, it's still fresh in my mind when I built it all those years ago. 5 or 6 years ago, I think it was. But yeah, very nice indeed. Then we jump to sprue G. So you've gone from C to sprue G. Then you've got choice of fronts there. And you've got another prop here as well. So you've got, oh, I wonder. It comes with 3 different props here, so I presume it's one of them for the Mark 5 then, I guess. Yeah, I presume it's the Mark 5. There you are. So they get some. There's the detail of the guns there. There's the prop. Moving through. Your flaps there. More internals there for your fuselage. Your nose. Yeah. It's for, you know, it's a very detailed kit for 1/48 scale. Very nice. Then finally you've got sprue H. This is sprue H, and there you go. There's all the detail that you need for the wings. Just getting close, you can see the panel lines, all recessed. Everything's all recessed on here. Tidy. And down through there. Look at that. Yeah. Nice texture. Do have a rub down. Got some detail there for inside. Scratchies there, but you won't see any of that. But yeah, I like it. I like it a lot. Right, moving on. I want to see the difference between the canopies, because you know I'm sure that Cousins had the. Well, you got 3 types of canopy here. So there you go. You've got you got the straight one, then you've got like a bubble, then you've got like that must be for the Mark 5. That one then. I'm just trying to work out. So there you go. There's your straight, so you can see. If I put it up, you can see. You know, you got the bubble canopy. Can you see that? But I'm sure that Cousins had a bubble canopy. Just saying. But if I'm wrong, let me know. But it's not an issue. You can choose which canopy you want, really. But yeah, but it's a really nice. You know, the glass looks fantastic. To be honest, I can't see much of a problem there. There's no scratches on the plastic. Oh, there's a little. Oh, that's a shame. There's a little mark there. It's on the inside, is it? Oh, it's moving. Hang on. There's not a mark. Where's my brush? No, it's not a mark. There's a little piece of plastic in there. There you go. Oh, I like that. That's good. That's right. It's not a mark. It was a little piece of plastic that got stuck on the inside, and the static had kept it in position. So there you go. There's all the glass work you need in there. Right. And as I'm giving this kit away to a friend, I am going to pack this back away as best I can. So, thoughts. Now, building this kit 5-6 years ago, I don't remember any real issue of putting it together. And the plastic looks good in the box now as it did back then. Nice bit of detail on it. You've got the choice of doing number 19 squadron as well, so one of the few. And you've got 3 really good looking schemes. Interesting schemes, especially that French one. And I think if I was going to build this kit again, I think I would go for that French one. There's something about it. But I like the French scheme that was in the original 1/24 scale Spitfire that Airfix released a few years back. That looked special as well. But anyway, leaving it up to you. They're available on the Airfix website for £29.99. If you're a club member, you get your 10% off. And if you spend £60 on their website, you will get a coin if they're still in stock. But I'll leave a link in the description box below and in the comments where you can buy this kit from the Airfix website. And I think that's it from me. Thanks for watching. If you liked the video, click like. If you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. Ring that bell. Click all to be notified when I release a new video. Any questions, any comments, leave them in the box below because I do reply. And a huge shout out to my channel members who help me financially with this channel. If you'd like to become a channel member, click join below and select which membership tier you so wish. I do giveaways on a live stream on once a week, normally on a Tuesday night now from 8 o'clock. And basically it's a group of us, all members. You have the opportunity to come on screen on live with me and we build models and talk about scale modelling and things that are happening in life itself. It's a really good time to be building scale modelling. Anyways, in one of the 4 corners is going to be a playlist or a video from my channel. And I'll see you in the next video. Take care.